No sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. I know, 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 I know. I know, hey, I ought to leave the young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Anytime she goes away, anytime she goes away.
He had 2, 3, 4 different years.
He had exceptional acceleration, but his most productive trait as a runner was his elusiveness. He could just make people miss, flat miss.
Red Grange was everything. He was bigger than...
Can I take us right back to when you actually first started? How did your recording career come about?
I saved up some of my own money and recorded myself. I had never written any songs. I didn't really know how to play anything. And I had never sung before. Not really, you know, in the shower or someplace. But I just decided it would be awfully nice to get in the music business. And then I just walked around and knocked on everybody's door. A lot of times I would go in and somebody would say to me, you're too old to be just beginning. You know, I was like 32 years old at the time. Most of the major record companies called me up, but they had a different idea of how, they didn't want me to do anything quiet. They had this rhythm and blues syndrome in their mind with the horns and the 3 chicks and the gold lame suit, you know. And I wasn't really into that. So I thought, I had a job, you know, so I thought, well, you know, if they wanted me to do it like I want to do it, I got this good job making these toilets. I don't need you cats.
Making these toilets? What kind of toilets are you making?
For aircraft.
Ah.
Yeah, 747 aircraft. I installed cameras in those toilets. Unbeknownst, we say that in Slab Fork, to anybody but me. So if you've ever been to the bathroom on the 747, I know you very well. You understand?
So, here's all the stuff that I don't know how to work. I mean, I guess the stuff works. I know how to turn it on, you know. Like I can make lights come on and stuff. Let's see. Here, I can turn that on and let's see. And this fan on here to cool it off. This thing's been sitting here corroding for about 10 years. Yeah, so you remember, I think I got a speaker thing here. Fooling around, let's see. I was just playing with all these gadgets. I have to be careful that I don't just wallow in my own comfort. Probably now I'm trying to find some kind of motivation or, you know, I'm not lazy. I don't even understand. I'm trying to give myself a chance to get driven, where just the sheer activity of doing something just jacks you up, makes you excited. I lived a good portion of my life before I started to play music. I had been working at Weber Aircraft, and I got laid off. Then Ain't No Sunshine started appearing on the radio and stuff. And it's funny because I got 2 requests in the same day. I got a letter from my job saying that I was called back to work, and I got a request to do the Johnny Carson show.
She's Gone. I like that song. That was big for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that kind of got me off the ham and eggs thing and kind of tightened me up a little bit.
But we mentioned this before, that you were a craftsman and you made John's toilets, right?
Oh, yeah, it was a good job. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Where's the fun come in, Bill? I mean,
Well,
People in my own family were probably surprised. When I was on the radio, people that I'd been in the Navy with, people I'd worked in a factory with, people that knew me were probably going, wait a minute, is that same guy? If I would have gone to work the next day and told somebody where I was last night, I'd have got laughed out of the place. All of a sudden, I'm traveling on the road, and more people are interested in you than before. It was just like a whole other world.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Withers.
Have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Mr. Bill Withers.
When you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
New words started to enter my life that had never been there before, like handsome. Boy, you sure do get better looking when you get a hit record, I'll tell you that.
I wanna spread the news that if it feels it's a good getting used, oh, you just keep on using me. Hey, until you use me up. Hey, until you use me up. Hey, now you're talking about you using people. It all depends on what you do. It ain't too bad the way you using me, 'cause I sure am using you to do that thing you do. Hey, to do that thing you do.
I had never been in the entertainment business before. The first live singing I ever did was in front of about 5,000 people. All of a sudden, somebody says, go to work.
Let's give a big round of applause for the one and only Mr. Bill Withers. Give him a big round of applause.
5 years old, they're high, sure am cold. Mama's down cooking steak for someone else.
What do you see as the prognosis of your career, Bill? You know, you'll become a big star. You're becoming a superstar. And do you think you can remain just as you are?
First, I
Still
have
Bill?
to become somebody that understands what prognosis means, man. That's a heavy word.
Well, how do you interpret how are things going to go for you?
Yeah. I'm kind of just letting them go, you know, letting them go. And whatever's given to me, if I can do it, you know, I'll just have at it.
2 or 3 years into this, I was in a major mess. I mean, I actually had a record company actually collapse out from under me. Well, the IRS came in and took the tapes and sold them. Then when I went to this major, big, mega label, you know, you walk in, you play something, and somebody goes, well, where are the horns? You got to put some horns on it. How long is the intro? First hit record I had was Ain't No Sunshine. No intro, nothing. If nobody throws all their rules at you, you might make a song with no introduction. Instead of singing about romantic love all the time, you make a love song about your grandmother. Or you make a friendship song, a la Lean on Me, searching through your feelings and your vulnerabilities and your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're already loaded up enough with the burden of just trying to find those feelings. So then here comes a whole bunch of guys trying to tell you what to do with all their goofy ass suggestions and stuff. They have the R&B black guys, and then they got what I like to call blackspurts. That's the white guys who are supposed to be experts, you know, who have some kind of tap into your black psyche. I had an A&R man once that his big suggestion to me was that I cover Elvis Presley's In the Ghetto. I was livid. And as I started to try to respond to that, that simple kind of emotional, vulnerable kind of thing kind of got splattered around there. I became very interested. Can I still stay in this business and be effective and make a living and not have to play this fame game? I wasn't any good at it. The fame game was kicking my ass.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Sky, just the two of us, you and
I would like to see us move past to where you need the validation of the mainstream so much until we got away from liking ourselves.
The challenge, though, is still, once you get in that mainstream, to not become mainstreamed. That is to say, to remain your authentic self, to still make the community that produced you proud of you, to not, in the cultural vernacular, to become a sellout.
Sellout. I'm not crazy about that word because we're all entrepreneurs. To me, I don't care whether you own a furniture store or whatever. The best sign you can put up is sold out.
Sold out.
So let's call. Can we make that? Can we make that subservient?
Yeah, that's a different twist on the formulation.
I think what Tavis is saying here, though, it is a profound point. One, it's a Shakespearean point. To thine own self be true, and as night follows the day, thou can be false to no one. You have been true to yourself. You don't sound like Paul Simon on the guitar. You Bill Withers because you come out of your roots. When you sing Grandma's Hands and start talking about Maddie and talking about Grandma taking care of local unwed mothers in Virginia or West Virginia, that's real. That's being yourself. At the same time, though, in being yourself, you're able to cross over into a white mainstream, and they had to accept you on your own terms.
You see, look at that. This thing is not new. Oh boy, these pages are really... Well, I guess this was brothers and sisters I had that never lived. I was the last of 13 kids that my mother had. I guess I wasn't born yet, so I'm not in here anywhere. Gracchus Monroe Galloway was my mother's father. He was born a slave. He was probably 9 years old when they freed the slaves. He worked in the coal mines, but he would never work for the coal company. He hauled coal. Here's Grandma. Now, I took this picture when I was a kid, so you can see what year it was by the car.
Most of us, at some point in our lives, have somebody that means more to us than anybody else has ever meant before or will ever mean again. Sometimes it's a long-legged lady if you're a man, or some tall, very smooth man if you're a woman. But in my case, I learned how to really love somebody from just a nice old lady. My favorite thing that I've written has to be about this favorite old lady of mine. I'm from Slab Fork, West Virginia. You know where that is, right?
No, is that any place
you
near
know
Bluefield?
Yeah, it's near Bluefield, about 30 or 40 miles, I guess, from Bluefield. Yeah.
Slab Fork, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Grandma's hand clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played a tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma's hand. Eyes in Grandma's hand.
Hey, CV. This is the mayor here. This is Mayor CV.
How you doing? How you doing?
CV's running the thing. I'm good, man. CV was talking to my daughter, and he was telling her, you know, let me tell you about your great-grandmother.
Right.
And so CV remembers her.
Grandmother Galloway. She was a very elegant woman. She sat on this porch, and she would sing spirituals right on that porch and clap her hands.
Remember, they called it getting happy.
You're right.
There's a saying, the sleepy smiling South with blood on its mouth.
Right.
Well, we weren't in that South. This was South in a way. Like when we grew up, you didn't have to sit on the back of the bus.
Right.
But we had separate schools now.
Right.
You had to go to the back door if you wanted a milkshake or something from one of them restaurants uptown. But the kids left to our own devices. We played now. We sat here. That was the dividing line.
Right.
We were the only two black families on this side of the railroad track. Well, we just integrated the whole thing by ourselves.
I think all of the black families, basically, like it or not, most of us had white people in our families.
You know, after you did a day's work in the coal mines, everybody was black anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's
Wasn't nothing but black people here.
I haven't been to Slab Fork since about 1959. Nobody's back there. No, there's nothing there much except graves, you know, and old coal mines. And I'm really not too hung up on going and laying flowers on dead people.
Let me be very candid about it. This was a white graveyard. This is a black graveyard.
Hey, Bill Withers.
Yeah.
What was your brother's name?
His name was Earl Martin.
Here he is right here.
Okay.
Earl W. Martin.
Yep, that's my brother. Well, they give him a nice stone. Where'd you see those numbers? Oh, 1942.
Do you vaguely remember any location about where your father would be?
No, and I don't know whether he would be buried close to Earl or not. Yeah, well, Papa, wherever you at, hello, bud. I'll catch you soon later. My father taught me, you know, he put the work thing in my head. My mother put the moral thing in my head. My father used to have a little barber shop here, and he wasn't a good barber, but he told great stories.
Just can't keep from crying. 6 years to lose, said Lord, have mercy, that's a long time. That's a long time.
All these houses were owned by the coal company, and they all looked the same.
Absolutely.
They probably done stuff to them now.
The company owned everything.
Which was one family. The coal company got your money, they paid you, then they got it. You had to shop, you shopped in their store. Now this was the old store.
Yeah, company store.
You could buy everything at this store.
Now this is an exceptional coal camp from the standpoint that it still have enough life to have some people living here.
They had a lot of churches. They had a Baptist church, then they had a Methodist church somewhere, and then they had your Holy and Sanctified Church. I liked my grandmother's church. It was spontaneous singing. There was no program singing. Somebody got up and started to sing a song. Everybody sung. It was my favorite kind of singing. Well, we have walked these railroad ties, huh, CV?
Yeah. Now, if you want to test how skillful you are, walk this.
Remember that used to be the thing, who could walk the rail?
If you can walk the rail...
The furthest?
Yeah, see, yeah. See, that's how to test how skillful you are.
Look at how.
Yeah, see, I still can walk it. Yeah.
Yo, you doing tricks and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's how skillful.
Now, if you break out a handstand, I'm leaving tonight. I'm telling you, this was like life, busy. Summertime come, we'd go round, dam up the creek, get buck naked.
And go swimming.
Go swimming. And so the girls would time you out, say, well, it's about swimming time. Then the girls would come down there and stand on the side so you couldn't get out of the water until they left. You know? So it was just a whole culture of stuff like that.
It's an amazing thing when you look back and you realize that the world changed completely around you. You are seeing what used to be.
So we are truly the last of a
we getting there.
Of a breed, huh?
Yeah, we getting there.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Hit it one time for me. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
You already hit it. I can't hit it like you no more.
Dude, let me ask you, do you go on any tours at all now?
The first thing you said to me was, you look like an old man. Right. So now, how can you tell me in one breath that I look like an old man? And then in the second breath tell me you ought to be out on the road playing rock and roll.
No, I have never understood how you entertainers could be on the road and do every other night or one night stand.
I don't understand it either. That's how come I ain't doing it.
Okay.
I've had people ask me that question a lot. You know, how could you just stop? Well, to me, it wasn't stopping anything. It was doing something else. And I mean, I like music, but I'm not going to place my whole worth on it. You know how unhappy you would be if you thought that the way you are is not okay? I started out my life like that. I don't want to end it up like that.
Okay, we're on our way to get a birthday cake.
I'm getting just a 7-0. I don't want him to have to struggle to blow out 70 candles. We are putting this here. This doesn't seem very formal, but...
Got it.
Yes. You know.
Cool. Well, give me, yeah.
But we still have to celebrate. We would love for you to make a gigantic wish and blow out your candles. You don't have to divulge a wish, but we'd love for you to make a wish.
I'm a senior citizen. That's okay with me. I'm okay with my gray hair and my, my narrowing shoulders. To the country end. The most important thing is to be okay, I just want to feel good. I know what it feels like not to feel all right. Guilt and regret, aches and pains. I'd really like to learn to accept everything before I die.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, man, how you doing? Look out. Ah, Jimmy Bobby.
Hello, bud.
How you doing? Boy, you still look like a teenager.
How you doing? Good to see you, Bill.
You too,
Good,
man. You too.
It must be your son.
Yep.
I looked just like it.
How you doing, man?
How's everything? How's everything going?
I'm his daughter, but last time I remembered you held me on your lap, and we went over to your mom's house.
Yeah. How you doing, sugar? Well, you can still sit on there. Not too long, though. Not too long.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes.
I'm so glad to see you, girl.
Something without warning.
Girl, come in, the Lord. How you doing?
Bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me.
Just one man, you looking good, man.
You looking great.
I actually turned 70 today. Some people are just born cool. They've been cool all their lives, Well, I hadn't been cool all my life. I was an asthmatic stutterer as a kid. One popular thing is, spit it out, spit it out. And then they have all these folky kind of cures, like hitting you in the face with a dish rag or something, you know what I mean? Really stupid stuff, you know. I grew up with, you can't do nothing. One teacher said to me once that I was handicapped, and I didn't like that word. So any dreams that I had, I kept them to myself. Once you're labeled sort of a less than person, it gave me this crisis of confidence. I just wanted to leave and then go and start over with some new people. The Navy, at that age, 17, seemed like somewhere to go.
If you don't look into your mind and find out what you're running from, tomorrow might be just another day to run.
These are my old Navy buddies. I've known these guys since I was 21. We all met in Guam. There was not much for us to do socially. So it was kind of frustrating because you got all these young guys, but all this testosterone, and there's nowhere for them to go.
This is the man. You know what they told me about Guam? The guy says, "Oh, you're going to Guam. There's a woman behind every tree. There's only 2 trees."
Yes. Well, it was hard on a brother in Guam. Funny time. There was a whole lot of life real fast, you know?
I was on the way up here. I was thinking that when I first seen you, didn't you bring a guitar to Guam?
No. I never owned a guitar until 1970 or something like that.
Is that right?
I don't know, an F sharp from 9th Street.
But when you got there, you found that little old bar. You was singing Johnny Mathis more so than what you.
Or whatever the piano player could play.
Was that right?
Couple of drinks, man. Everybody, you start singing. Shoot. Yeah. But I still hadn't given it any thought as to making a living at it.
When you appeared in my imagination,
He's always been just Bill Withers to me. And I'm sure that's what he feel too. And I don't think he would want it any different,
My real life was when I was just a working guy. Just in the Navy, just a mechanic, you know what I mean? But the true measure of any group of people is how are the ones that are just people?
you were here in my memory, and I love you now that you're here.
I was an aircraft mechanic. I was in the Navy 9 years.
Okay. Is that right?
I can do masonry and all these kind of things. Now,
were you writing songs while you were doing that?
I've written songs working at McDonnell Douglas on the line. Use me, working on an airplane and things. And yeah, Grandma's Hands, Weber Aircraft in Burbank. You understand what I'm saying? While you're working on the thing and singing it over and over to yourself so you don't forget it before you get home.
Wow.
But you know what's funny? People say, yeah, he wrote that song about that woman. I didn't know none of them damn women when I was writing them songs.
Just in your mind.
I couldn't get no women. I was making $3 an hour working in the damn thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I was 23 years old. I was a graduate student, UCLA, working on my MBA. And my sister and I decided we wanted, well, actually it was me. I wanted to go see Gil Scott-Heron. It was a vacant table. She said, "Oh, let's go sit there." I said, "It says reserved." And lo and behold, it was Bill sitting there, which I didn't know. She recognized him. And that's how I met him. I wasn't starstruck at all. He was just a regular, normal person. He was interesting. He was interested in me.
Oh, now when I'm kissing my love, yeah, thumping in my head. And now when I'm kissing my love, I close my eyes.
men can't express what they're feeling, and he can. He can, you know, he's sensitive, but tough.
Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock, put your foot on the rock, I know you just can't stop. Put your foot on the rock, now when I'm kissing my love, feel the blood pumping in my veins, now when I'm kissing my love, she's such a tender cinder, with a sweet young frame, well, now she's so good at what she does. All she wanna do is kiss and hug. She's got me in love, and I can feel my heart just a thumping and a skipping when I'm kissing my love.
As soon as I figured out who I was, I married an MBA. You know what I mean? The one thing about Marcia is Marcia's an optimist in the face of everything.
We live a life that is comfortable and simple, and I think that Bill never really wanted, you know, all these riches and material things. When the kids came along, he was home a lot. He didn't do a lot of touring. There were times when I'm sure he really missed being in the business, making music, but I think that it was more important for him to have a life and a family. He had never had a family before. He had his mother, but his dad died when he was 13, and I think it was really important for him to be a father to the kids.
I get a warm summer feeling walking through the snow, even chilly darkness has the brightest glow, and I just love you so.
From very early on, my father played a lot of music at home. Music was never something that was pushed. It was just always there. We had 2 pianos at home on opposite sides of the house. It certainly was something that blended the family together. It was something we all shared.
So you guys in a
You're the navigator.
Okay.
You're getting the tour, so the dean. This was Ty's big day. He's, you know, accepted into this law school.
Exciting.
It's exciting for him, and it's exciting for us. I really learned about this whole family thing from Marcia. I think the older you get, the more your concern shifts from you to other people. So, Toddy, do I have to start calling you Mister in a couple of years?
Growing up listening to my dad's songs is just like the most peaceful space I remember being able to have as a child. And he kind of speaks in little poems. You know, the sky is blue and I'm happy to see you. You know, he just would pull it out of anywhere. Quit crying and start trying. A lot of times he says, write this down. He says, get a pencil, you know, write this down. And I'm sure my mother has hundreds of little pieces of paper just all over the house of just not even full songs, but two lines, you know, just of thought. Sometimes he'll call me just to say that. I was thinking this and I want you to make a note of it. And then some of those things, I think, make it into Songville.
Let me in your life.
Growing up, I always wanted to be just like my dad, really. When I started writing songs, it just took a lot of courage to say, that's really secretly, you know, what I want to do.
Paint a portrait of tomorrow with no colors from today.
I always wanted to write, but I always thought, how could I ever come close to doing the types of things that he did just because I know I'm a different person. I knew I wasn't gonna, you know, sit down the first time I picked up guitar and write Ain't No Sunshine, but I know what he thinks is good. I really didn't want to share anything with him. I ended up, you know, playing something for him when I wasn't ready, and he was just like, nah, this is not happening. It was hard for me because I needed him to just be my dad and just say, I'm proud of you that you're working on something, or I'm excited about your journey, and I mean, it was none of that.
One of Another thing I always tell my kids is, you know, it's okay to head out for wonderful, but on your way to wonderful, you're gonna have to pass through all right. And when you get to all right, take a good look around and get used to it, because that may be as far as you're gonna go. Most people don't know or don't care who you are. You know, I think I'm kind of like pennies. You have them in your pocket, but you don't remember they're there. Nobody knows who I am. Sometimes if I tell somebody who I am, they'll say, no, you ain't. Or people just don't know, never did, and don't care. I mean, I don't work the circuit where you keep reminding people of you, you know. This is my first tribute kind of thing.
We're here tonight for Bill Withers and his amazing catalog of music. An amazing vocalist, songwriter, musician, and someone I've loved and appreciated for many, many years. So congratulations, Bill, and for you coming out to support him. So thank you.
Brooklyn's own Corey Glover. A man we passed just tried to stare me down. And when I looked at you, you looked at the ground. Now, I don't know who he is, but I think that you do. Y'all know this one, ready? That come into who is he and what is he to you?
Memories take you back to the good times when it's over and the sad times disappear.
It would be kind of rough right now to just go out there and just say, I want to just see how many people I can make notice me. There was a time when that was it, huh? I want everybody to look at me and everybody to want to know me and everybody. There was a time for that. This is not that time. What if I had to get up from here right now and about 9 o'clock tonight start trying to kick up a ruckus? I'm not feeling that way. No matter how many people say you should feel that way, because I can't. If I was completely honest with myself, I'm probably a little manic depressive. That's why maybe I might write some songs that might reach somebody else's emotions, because I have some. I have my own. Wouldn't it be fun at this age just to all of a sudden just jump up and start shaking it around? That would be something, huh? If I just had some showing off steroids, man, you would get tired of me. You know what I mean? I just want to, and I want to. I sit there, I watch other people show off, and I said, man, I used to want to show off. If I could just get, you know, moved to. I need a little injection in my showing off gland, you know.
Memories are that way.
Yeah, is he gonna sing again? What is he doing? I would love to see Bill sing another record. There's millions and millions of people that would love to hear Bill Withers again. If he wants to do it, fine. If he don't want to do it, I respect that too, because what he's been through with the record business in his life, and to come through it, I may not want to sing again neither.
In some ways, I think it's really cool that he hasn't made a record since 1985, because if he feels like he hasn't had anything to say or he's wanted to focus on his family and stuff like that, you've got to define your priorities for yourself.
For me, it shows the artist that he is. It's not only about money, it's about the beauty of the song. For him not to write a song for any album for 23 years, from me to him, I say, respect, maestro.
It would be great to do some stuff with Bill again, you know, that would be, you know, I've always thought about that. We hadn't played together for, I guess, 30 years. In my career, that was probably the best times that I had.
No telling what might happen. Bill might,
know, pop up, and next thing you know, we're in the studio doing something, you know. But he's always doing something. Don't think Bill's not recording. He's doing something. He's writing. It's in his blood, you know. He's writing. Just like it's in my blood to play this guitar. It's in his blood to write, you know. So, hey, man, something might pop up, you know. I stay optimistic, you know. But until then, I'll keep on grooving.
The hardest thing to be in songwriting is to be simple and yet profound. And it's difficult. It's a very difficult art form. Some people have it intrinsically, some people have to work very hard. But Bill seemed to understand intrinsically, instinctively, how to do that.
Bill Withers could work a whole lot and make a whole lot of money if he wanted to do that. But I don't think he's comfortable doing that, because I've called him at time. People call me all the time. Can I get Bill Withers? I say, hey, man, don't call me, you know, because I don't think he's going to do it.
We are so remiss in overvaluing entertainers, of which I am one, no problem, and athletes, and undervaluing the people among us who have less obvious gifts.
Well, let me ask you this question about your own legacy, both personally, as a human being, and as a great artist that you are. What would you want your legacy to be?
I'm in New York because I have the pleasure of being honored by the Our Time Theater group, and that's for kids who stutter. And it's a great thing. It's very close to my heart. Having navigated through my youth and well into my adulthood, dealing with that issue, it's fun to, you know, see this thing grow. I grew up in a place called Slab Fork, West Virginia. I'm sure you've been there on many vacations. Swam in our creek. No disrespect to Slab Fork. It's a coal mining camp, and stuttering is rough for kids, but stuttering in Slab Fork, West Virginia, let's just say you don't go to Slab Fork on a scholarship. When you're a kid, you want to be cool, and you want to be cool with the cool people. And that doesn't always happen. So if you can learn to value the people who value you. And I was very moved when I saw these kids talking about how much they meant to each other. I am honored to be honored, and let's hope that each kid finds his own personal comfort zone where he can grow and nurture whatever gifts that he might have, because if you take away the people who stuttered from the world, you're left with a whole bunch of chatty, fill in your own word.
The kids are so excited to meet you. I've been playing your music, and
Yeah.
we cannot wait to meet you and talk with you.
Yeah.
So you are a role model for me and for them. So
Oh, thank you, bud. Yeah, let's go see him.
right here.
All right. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Mr. Bill Withers? If you guys have our time kids, feel free to come up and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Victoria.
Hi, sweetie.
Danielle.
Hi, sweetie.
Nice to meet you.
All right, how you feeling, bud? My man. What's your name?
Joe.
All right, Joe. You know what I noticed when we were meeting is, it's almost like fingerprints. We each have our own style of stuttering, which makes us unique. I really identified with people who stop at their name. Last night, this friend of mine, who's a fairly well-known painter, had this thing, so There were a lot of athletes and people that I had seen in my life, so I wanted to say hello to everybody and introduce myself. And I went over to this one guy, and man, I got stuck. And it brought back memories because there was a woman with him, and she started to laugh. It was fear. Fear of the perception of the listener. This fear that makes us apprehensive right at the point of trying to speak that stops us. One of the ways to deal with the fear is to approach people with a prepared forgiveness. We have to be more civil than most people that we will encounter. Having had people not understand me a lot, maybe help me wait a little beat to where I can extend something that hasn't been given to me. And I think that makes you a much bigger person.
We are thrilled to have you here. And everything that you said just means so much to me personally. And we'd love to sing for you today.
I would have been insulted if you would have not done something.
Sometimes I feel like everyone's always ignoring me. Sometimes I feel like everyone's always ridiculing me. All I want in this whole world is to be myself and nobody else. All I want in this whole world is love, is love, is love. I want in this world.
I understood what you meant, you know. There's an old Southern saying that says, you know, it don't sound right if it ain't said right. You know, so you guys are saying your feelings right. So keep, you know, just keep doing that. And it's really a big favor to me, you know, for you guys to remind me of some things that maybe I had forgotten. And maybe to show me some things that I didn't know. So you guys are cool. And next time I see you, I probably won't be this nice. So. we have to make allowances for each other. Thoreau, I think, said, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation." I would like to know how it feels for my desperation to get louder. Yes, Raul Nadon, please.
Hello.
Hello, Raul.
Yes.
Hi, this is Bill Withers. How you doing, bud?
Oh, good.
I was hoping that at some point or another, you know, that you would maybe have just a little time so we could just mess around, you know? Just you and me, you know? We could plunk around. I'll even break out my old Linn drum machine to make some noise, you know what I mean?
I don't know what to say. I'm just so happy that you're interested. And man, I'd love to put our heads together.
I'd like to try something out on you, Raul.
Okay.
Because I've always wanted to write something in Spanish. I had a friend, a Cuban friend, and we worked together and we laughed all the time and it was just great. And I really miss him, you know?
Yep.
What I was thinking to start off, mi amigo cubano, hola, ¿cómo está? Que pasó, mi hermano? And I don't know whether you would say tú or usted there, but one or the other. I'll just say tú. Tú y yo no más hablar.
Yeah, two definitely, because you're good friends.
Now, your background is what, Raul?
My background is my mother was African American, and my father is Argentinian. When I lived in Miami, I got very deeply involved in Cuban music, the music called guaguancó. In guaguancó, everything goes together. So here's the clave, right?
Okay.
And then it goes boom, 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 boom. You know, as you're doing all that, you sing and you keep all that going. Ay, la Camelona, ay, la Camelona, porque te tengo que you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Raul. Yeah, man. We're gonna use all that stuff you know, Raul. That's about all the preview I would like to do on that. Let's just walk in with a blank sheet of paper and see what we can mark on it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's always funky, cause you feel that way. The song might be easy and melancholy on another day. Sometimes a song gets mean and evil, cause it ain't going right. Sometimes a song just might get nervous, cause it might be uptight.
I don't even know what chords he has, you know, so it's all gonna be kind of a question of openness. I'm gonna bring what I have to the table and hopefully, you know, come up with something. I mean, I just felt very honored.
Sometimes a song is tender, sometimes a song is sad.
Hey, bud.
Maybe that evening at the room, the song that's all
How you doing, Al? Let's walk and hit the studio.
Sometimes a song just feels real good and lays right there in the groove.
Feels like a studio.
Yeah? I'm going to be largely dependent on you because I have no skills, Raul. See, you're the virtuoso. No, I'm serious. I got this stuff in you. I can't play any of this stuff. But...
I learned, you know what? Instead of putting myself in a situation where my blindness makes me inferior, I'm going to create a situation where I can put my strengths out there. I think that when you're disabled in any way or when you have some, I think you have to figure out how you learn.
But you know what, Raul? You use the word disabled.
Right.
You are enabled in other areas that the average person doesn't have. I was a stutterer until I was 28. I used to avoid the phone and, you know, just anywhere where you had to talk. And people would get up in your face and say, spit it out, as if you had a choice in the matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As if you got in that line and said, well, I think I'm gonna get in, you know, when you're getting ready to be born, you know, like, I think I'll get in the stuttering line. And the thing is, what do you do after you find out you're here? So then, you know, there was a phrase that I kept batting around. In my mind's eye, I can see the world from here.
Right.
How's that?
I love it.
Want to play with that later?
Yes.
Why don't you write that down so
I'm
we
writing
don't
it down.
forget it?
I love it. And it could be something about being clear.
Yeah.
The mind.
Okay, write down clear.
Yeah.
I can see the world from here.
Yeah. So because it's
and sometimes
because clarity in the mind's eye is absolute. It can be absolute.
Okay. Okay, now let's begin another line.
I can hear the dream, my dream, so clear.
Yeah.
Just an idea, just an idea. Okay.
That's good, Raul. That's good. In my mind's eye, I can see the world from here.
And sometimes
I can hear my dreams so clear. Get down, Raul. Come on, brother. Throw something in the pot. There you go.
Because the people always ask me about dreams. How do you dream if you can't see? Well, I hear in my dreams, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about seeing, it's about being in your dream.
I don't know what would motivate someone at the point in their life that he's in, with the break that he's taken. But I do know that he has no problem throwing down when he feels like throwing down. When he wants to do something, I mean, he's just obsessed. He's all in, up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not eating, not sleeping. And that's exhausting.
Mi amigo cubano.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for the cowbell.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Mi amigo cubano. ¿Qué pasó, mi hermano? Mi amigo cubano. Separado por circunstancias.
There you go, Raul. That's what I'm talking about, T.
That was pretty cool, actually.
You know, it all gets back to that thing. If you start sweet, then you got somewhere to go. Let me go to 41 here and see what's happening, Raul. Bear with me here one more time, okay? Listen to this, and then I'll make my next edit, okay?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
I think Bill is always thinking of songs. He has songs that he's created over the last, 10, 15 years that are on tape.
Tu esposa y tu mamá.
He put a lot into building that studio. I think in his imagination, he felt, I'm gonna do some music. Whether or not he was gonna actually, put it out there, that's another story.
Background, amigo cubano. Right.
Selfishly, it would be fantastic if he would put get a record together and there'd be new music and all that kind of stuff, and it'd be fun. But realistically, I'm not sure that he wants that. He just hasn't, wanted to get back into the music business.
¿Qué pasó, mi hermano?
There you go. Go to the carnival here.
Mi amigo cubano.
That is. Yeah, that is right. That is.
Mi amigo cubano.
Got that hump.
¿Qué pasó, mi hermano?
I might just go in this frenzy, just become obsessed with it every day. All you hear is just noise and me. You know what I mean? I would like that. Just so much about you that I like. And it's been so good to know how you've always been there for me. When I've needed a friend. And oh, by the way, anytime, any time of the night or day, I will be just a telephone call away. Come on, Corey, sing that bridge. sing.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say, anytime of the night or day, I will be just telephone call away.
Let's get out of here.
That sounded really nice.
But Corey girl, we can work that shit.
We can.
We can do that song.
Yeah. As far as music goes, I think my dad is a pretty honest critic. And I really had to toughen up and realize that there's a difference between someone criticizing you in a way that's saying you're untalented and someone being a coach. You know, someone saying, yeah, that wasn't a strike.
You ain't no joke, sugar. You ain't no
That was so
joke.
great to sing in that room.
Yeah,
The
see,
acoustics.
you getting a little grease on you. That's what I'm talking about, you understand? You know, getting a little grease on you. That's, you know, you bringing the stuff, Corey. Let's hit this sucker here. Yeah.
I knew there are ways that my father is gifted and that I'm different than that and that I'm going to have to find my own process and sort of my own way. And for me, I just knew that I wanted to get better.
You just be comfortable, and
Okay.
we'll make all
Because
this
I
work.
have to be able to see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to lift this just slightly.
Do what you want to with it. You want it closer, farther away?
That's good. This is called Blue Blues. I've moved on from you, so I say, so it seems. You are gone, far away. I let you go, I set you free. Still I swim in a sea of you, my blue. My biggest fear, worst nightmare, was that I would be a disappointment to him, that I would show him what I had and he would be disappointed, because I knew he always was really eager to work with me. And I was always just like, why? You're Bill Withers. Why would you ever want to do that? Like, why would you ever want to do that? And I just could never see how he and I could sit in a room as equals and do anything together. I give up, I give in, I can't hide away this love I'm in. Will never have me, will only leave me deep in the sea of my blue, blue, blues.
Oh, Corey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just, you know, I'm just glad to see you. You know what I mean. Let's hear that. Let's hear that. We're all accidents of birth, you know? We don't get to choose, you know, what we look like, We don't get to choose how gifted we're going to be, how tall, how strong, we don't get to choose anything about what we're going to be. One day somebody says, you are. At some point or another, we have a choice, if we're sane enough by that point, as to how much we're going to apply ourselves. And a lot of that is influenced by the people who nurture us. I already did what I did. You know, I'm not that little boy or that young guy anymore that hasn't had any validation. Snakes there in that grass, Grandma's hand. And tell her, baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man, even though he ain't no good. Grandma's hand. Come on, play, man.
You looked at the ground.